All right, sorry for the little disturbance. Back to the zodiac signs. Most people know that a zodiac sign stands for a certain year, but in ancient times they actually used to use the zodiac signs to tell the time. So they use a sign for a two. They'd have 12 2-hour periods, and they'd use a sign for each period. They'd designate a sign for each period. So dang, this pisses me off. All right, back to the Chinese zodiac signs. I'm sorry for the disturbance. It's widely known that each animal stands for a certain year, but a lot of people do not realize that they actually used to use these signs to tell the time. They split the day up into 12 2-hour periods, and they designate an animal for each specific period. So next, I'm about to show you what the zodiac signs have been from 1912 and dating up to 2019. So next year it'll be the year of the pig, and then 2018, which is this year, is the year of the dog. Over here you have the time periods, the 2-hour time periods, and what animal was for which period. So you can see the rat was from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. You can see the pig was from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. So I'll let you look at that for a little bit longer. All right, the traditions throughout history. This is the actual timeline I was speaking of earlier. As I stated, it was more during the Shang Dynasty. It was more about religious practice, so they focused on more worshiping. And most of their traditions developed from fear from a mythical beast named the Year. The Year would come and destroy everything in its way on New Year's Eve. That was what everybody believed. But however, the beast was scared of loud noises and the color red. So during the Han Dynasty, they started creating cracked bamboo, which was just regular bamboo they would set on fire, and it would make a cracking noise. And it was believed that this noise would drive away the evil, which would drive away the year. During the Wei Dynasty and the Jin Dynasty, fireworks were first used, but they were not gunpowder until the Song Dynasty. This is what is known as the Shao Sai tradition, which is just the firework tradition of letting off fireworks. They believe the fireworks and the noise of the fireworks and the color of the fireworks would drive away the year or the evil that's coming to get them. All right. Chinese New Year traditions. Nowadays, the Chinese New Year celebrates more of hard work, and most people have 7 days off, so that's a full week off. It's the biggest time off they have or celebration in China. So they pray for a prosperous new year, and they just relax and bond with their family. We'll look more into exactly what they do later on. The small year is on the 23rd. It's not actually a year. It is on the 23rd or 24th day of the last month. On this day, it is believed that the food god leaves everyone and reports back to God. Tells what the family's activities and lets God know how the family's doing. So a lot of families around this time like to send their farewells to the food god by taking down a painting of the food god. Most families keep a painting of the food god in their kitchen. So when the food god leaves, they will take that painting down and they'll actually burn it and then go buy a new one and put it up. And they do that just once a year annually. That's part of taking out the old and bringing in the new. You'll see that along Chinese culture a lot in Chinese New Year. One of the first things they do during their Chinese New Year is their dinner, the New Year's Eve dinner. This is the most important dinner the Chinese have during the year. During this time, they eat just fish and dumplings. That signifies prosperity. And they also have some desserts like Ning Gao and Tang Guan. Ning Gao is just like a cake, a rice cake, pretty much. And then Tang Gao is like a sweet, small. It's like a small sweet ball made out of rice. and the roundness is supposed to represent unity. They also clean and decorate their houses a lot during this time. They believe that cleaning their house, when they clean their house, they include every corner, because in the corners, that's where they believe the chin is or the bad luck is. And if they clean out the corner, that's removing the bad luck and bringing in the good new year, you know? After cleaning, they'll decorate their houses with hanging lanterns, paper cuttings, and couplets. They're all red. Everything's red in this to ward off the evil. You'll see that along, and it brings good fortune. That's pretty much what you'll see with all their traditions, is it wards off evil and brings on good fortune. During this time, the only thing that is open usually are the New Year markets. And the New Year markets, all they have is stuff directly related to the Chinese New Year, such as like clothing, fireworks, decorations, and small arts. These markets are usually covered head to toe in lanterns. I saw a couple pictures online, and let me tell you, it's head to toe. Clothing during this time, they actually don't have any requirements for their clothing. I mean, most of the people wear popular clothing. You'll see tang suits for men and quapaos for women. I know that says men there, but it is women. Sorry for that. And in ancient times, men were actually required to wear a headdress, but now they're not. Women aren't required to wear any certain things, but a lot of women wear ornate wands. A lot of people mistake those wands for chopsticks. Women do not put chopsticks in their hair in Chinese culture. Here's the tang suit on the left, and the other suit on the right. The women's suit on the right. Now on the first day of the new year, like their clothing's very important, so they get new clothing. This is part of bringing in new and taking out the old. They wear new clothing on the first day, and they go and visit and meet and greet family and friends, like immediate family and friends, pretty much. This period is known as the Bai Nian. Usually, you'll have younger relatives go and visit their elders or their grandparents, and the married couples on this date will actually go visit the husband's family. And during this time, there's a lot of gifts and offerings and stuff like that, like food, wine, and clothing, other things like that. Another thing that's given out is a red packet. These red packets are filled with money. This is a process known as Hong Bao. The packets are believed to be a symbol of protection and good luck and just overall good health and wealth. However, you don't see a physical red packet too much nowadays. Nowadays, with the technology age coming around, you see less physical and more like electronical versions, like a PayPal or something like that. Another thing that doesn't actually happen on the first day. It happens on the eve, but it's part of the technology age, is the CCTV Gala, which is just a concert put on by celebrities, famous celebrities, just counting down up to the eve. It's pretty much like our countdown where you see on TV, where people will perform and all that stuff, and it will just count down to the new year. The following days after that, this is when married couples will go and visit the wife's family. I'm not exactly sure why the order is the men's family first and the wife's second. I don't know if they have less respect, because Chinese culture, the close relatives and the elders are held at a higher respect than distant family. So the following days, they go and visit the distant family. Also on these following days around public places, you'll see festivities like the dragon and lion dances. You could also go see some operas and some performing troupes or troupes. I'm not exactly sure what that is. The dragon and lion dances are believed to bring good luck, just like pretty much all the other traditions are. It was originally intended for worshiping, and the ancestors used to pray for rain during this time. The dragon dance started during the Han Dynasty, And the dragon itself is a symbol for wisdom, power, and wealth. These dances, you don't really see them in smaller cities. It's more the larger cities that you see it in. And usually when this dance is going on, it's accompanied by like percussion with drums, cymbals, just singing, stuff like that. So I'm going to show you a actual dragon dance later on. So there's actually many different styles and sizes when it comes to the dragons, different colors, stuff like that. But it is favorable in tradition that the dragon be odd number jointed. So that's just one of the traditions. The dragon's made out of bamboo, grass, paper, and cloth. Nowadays the dragons I see, it looks like they may be made out of a little bit more than that, but I'm gonna take the word on that. Researchers' word on that. The colors chosen always symbolize something positive. They always try to symbolize something positive or warding off evil or something like that. So, for example, like the green symbolizes a great harvest. Yellow represents the empire of China. Gold and silver symbolize prosperity. And, of course, the red wards off evil and brings on good fortune. One thing that I did not know, after the dragon dances are over, they actually burn the dragon's head and tail, and then they return the body to the Dragon King Temple. The Dragon King Temple is where the body is held all year round until they're ready to bring it out for the Chinese New Year. That's the only thing that it will be brought out for. Right here is what I'm talking about. Here's a little clip of a dragon dance / lion dance. Sorry if the sound's off or if the sound's a little too loud. This is just about a minute long video. As you can see and hear, there's a bunch of percussion. You can see that they're dressed in red, so that wards off the evil, and the yellow up there represents just unity and represents the empire. You can see everybody's dressed in red. Red is just a huge thing. It just wards off evil and brings on good fortune, so they wear a lot of it. On the last day of the Chinese New Year, this is the 15th day, they have a festival known as the Wan Kuai, or the Lantern Festival. This also marks the conclusion of the Chinese New Year. This is also the first full moon of the Lunar New Year. So, and legend has it, on this day, the Tianguan, or the ruler god, this was, the 15th day is his birthday. And legend has it that he enjoyed entertainment, so the Chinese believed they would entertain him by giving this lantern festival and sending off lanterns. So here's a picture of the lanterns right here, as you can see, so many of them. So they release them into the night sky. This is like a symbol of guiding the evil spirits away from them. That's what this symbolizes. Also on this day, they have a reunion dinner, but it's not as big as their first dinner. Mostly they just have desserts like Tang Huan. They use that. They eat that a lot on this day. That just symbolizes the roundness of the full moon and unity as it did before. That's the reason why they eat those mostly on that day. Alright. My summary about the Chinese New Year. their whole focus of the Chinese New Year is to fend off evil and bring in good fortunes, and then also to like take out the old and bring in the new. Just bring in a new year and new everything. So just forget about the old and bring in the new. Also, it really surprised me how global the Chinese New Year is. Like I wasn't aware of how big the Asian population was globally, or how much it spread across. I knew there was a huge population, but I didn't know how far it spread across globally. That includes the United States, and there's even like festivals over in Europe, like London and stuff. Big festivals. Like London has a really really big festival, Chinese New Year festival. Um, Overall, I think the festival is very exciting nowadays. I wouldn't have much liked it back in ancient times where it was just more of worshiping and stuff like that. I like the excitement they bring, the fireworks. It reminds me a lot of our New Year's, but with a lot less. Our New Year's has a lot less traditions than theirs. So that's just my summary of the ancient Chinese New Year. And here's my works cited page. And I'd like to apologize for my volume being up there the whole time. But yeah, that is it. And I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.